watching Rogers TV.
Welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. It is Friday and we have a fantastic show for you. We're going to talk a little fashion with Samia Cantus from Cantus Fashion. Kevin Frost is here to tell us about the incredible journey that he's gone through as an athlete, as a blind deaf athlete. He's got a fabulous book, and we're also joined by the voiceover artist that did the audio book for him. He's actually a former co-op student from Algonquin College that just finished up his co-op with us about a month ago. We're going to talk a little theater on the show today. We've got all that and more, but we start in the kitchen. It's time for another edition of Pelican Fish Tips with my good friend Ben Baird. He's the executive chef of the Pelican Seafood Market and Grill. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm doing great. With apologies to those of you that answered our call on Facebook saying, hey, what do you want us to do on this week's episode? And we had a couple of great ones. We had a couple of repeat ones, of course, which maybe we'll come back to down the road. But you thought, you know what, it's Easter. And for Easter, you guys are really busy. You do a lot of platters, and people love doing fish around Easter.
It
right?
is. It's one of the busiest weekends for us of the whole year, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Because everybody eats fish on Good Friday.
Right.
It's the restaurant's busy, takeout's busy, platters are out the door, and people just busy in the market buying fish to cook at home.
Right.
And salmon just seems to be one of those beautiful things that go along with Easter. So I thought, let's showcase simple salmon dish. You can feed the whole family, 2 people, 4 people. It's easily expandable.
Nice.
Couple different options for it, but some of those ideas, like the swordfish idea, I'm going to bank that. The calamari, I want to bank that. So we won't do a call out for requests. We'll just do one of those two
or both of them. We shall see how we're doing.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you're choosing salmon, right?
Yep.
You're going to a fishmonger like yourself.
Yep.
Why do I come to you instead of going and getting? Oh, there's a deal at the grocery store for frozen salmon.
So we get ours. This is from Black's Harbor, New Brunswick. It's beautiful salmon. It's farmed. It's ethically farmed. It's raised really well. We've been there. We visited. We know the guys.
Okay.
We get it in twice a week. We go through about 700 pounds a week. And we get it direct. So this guy was swimming in his pen like 4 days ago.
Really, eh?
Yeah, so it's really fresh. The grocery stores have a supply chain that we don't have. We're direct to the suppliers, so the grocery stores goes to Toronto, and then it comes to the local, and then it gets, we beat them on, and with volume. Like this is our top selling item, the Atlantic salmon, in the restaurant and in the market.
Okay,
so,
I'm not surprised. I mean, salmon's always been a huge favorite, right, when it comes to seafood. Fish
and it's really
seafood.
good for you. High in omega-3 fatty acids, low in cholesterol. It's just all around. It's great. It's a great protein. Kids love it.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. It's a family hit.
And do you sell it in different ways? You sell the whole salmon, and then, of course...
You can get a whole side. We have them pre-cut in steaks, so you can quick grab and go as you want. And we will custom cut. Like, this is kind of a portion for 2 or 3 people.
Right.
When I pull it out of the oven, I'm pulling out a whole side, which would be enough for like 4 or 6 people.
Okay.
So tell the guys at the counter, I want to feed 4 people. We'll cut it for you. We'll skin it for you if you want.
Nice.
Whatever you want. It is scaled, so you can eat the skin.
Terrific.
Yeah, it's perfect. And so you see it's on a cedar plank.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk, like, today I'm talking oven baked.
Right.
But it is really nice to do on the barbecue.
It is.
So we sell these cedar planks. It's a local cedar.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, they're cut. We sell them in 2 different sizes. You'd want to soak it for 24 hours.
Okay.
So take a bucket, kind of submerge it. I take some duct tape and keep it under the water. 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then you just build it like a tray on the barbecue. Preheat it. You might want, I keep a little water gun in case it flares up around the side.
Right. And that's just fun.
Yeah, 45 minutes on the barbecue, and you get that cedar flavor worked into it. But we're going to make this taste delicious.
Okay.
We're going to start with a little salt and pepper.
All right.
Salt and pepper's everybody's favorite thing.
Yeah, agreed.
First layer. Second layer, mayonnaise. 2 scoops of mayonnaise, 1 scoop of Dijon. Give it a quick mix.
Okay.
If you don't like the mayo or the mustard, you can leave it out. But the nice thing about the mayo is it traps the moisture in, creates a crust,
right?
Adds a little bit of fattiness to it.
Okay.
Not that it really needs more fat, but you'll taste it in the end and see what I mean.
Yeah.
And you want to put it on pretty thick. This is a dish my dad used to make.
Okay.
Yeah, nice and thick for this application.
Nice.
My dad used to do this for Easter. But he would just put mayonnaise on it.
Okay.
And we always thought it was weird. I think it's a bit of a British thing.
Actually, it sounds very British. I can see that.
Yeah. But they call it salad cream, not mayonnaise.
The salad cream, yes, of course.
So I like to, everything he did was simple. I like to make it a little tastier.
Yeah, of course.
So Dijon, mayonnaise, and now we're going to add some fun to it.
Okay.
Capers. These are just whole capers.
Which, by the way, they sell at the Pelican as well.
We sell little jars of them at the Pelican, absolutely. Fresh dill.
Does dill go with any fish? Or is salmon the real...
Safe to say, it does really well with salmon. I just had, this was beautiful dill we had in the restaurant today. Tarragon would work well.
Okay.
Parsley.
Oh, interesting. I've never tried tarragon.
Yeah, tarragon, that little licorice flavor.
Yeah.
Works really well with salmon.
Okay.
Breadcrumb, panko. Gonna add
this is helping you get that crust you were talking about, right?
A little texture, a little crunch. You don't want to go too thick, but enough that it's, covered.
Yeah.
Little layer. And then a bit of Parmesan cheese. Everybody thinks that's weird, but it really adds a nice little...
Well, that'll add to the crust as well, right?
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
Of course, a great flavor punch. I mean, who doesn't like Parmesan?
Exactly.
So that's my after-workout snack, is a big hunk of Parmesan cheese. Supposedly, there's a ton of protein in it. For sure.
Yeah, to each their own, right? If I was doing this on the barbecue, I wouldn't do the panko and the breadcrumb. Or sorry, the panko and the Parmesan.
Okay.
I would take some thinly sliced lemon and lay some lemon on there, and then it's going to baste it with the lemon juice as it cooks on the barbecue.
Okay.
But I don't want to put the lemon on there because I'm going for the crust.
Right.
I'm going to add the lemon afterwards.
Okay.
So, full side of salmon, which I'm about to pull out of the oven, was 400 degrees, and it took 35 minutes.
Oh, that's all? Okay.
Yeah. So this size, 400 degrees, I would say 20 minutes.
Okay.
You're looking for an internal temperature of 145 degrees.
Gotcha.
If you have one of those little meat thermometers.
Yeah.
I don't often use them for fish, but a whole baked salmon, it's
sometimes a little tougher to figure out.
I'm kind of poking it to feel if it's well done, especially when it's a whole side. It's hard to get the middle. So thickest part of the fish, meat thermometer in, 145 degrees. Bob's your uncle. You're off to the races.
Perfection.
So we will put this in the oven, pretend oven over here.
Okay. It's in the oven.
And then out of the oven we pull our... Now this is the full
side.
thing. Yeah.
Look at that.
Obviously I baked this in the restaurant, so it's cooled off a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can see how it's got a nice crust to it, bit of color around the sides, the smell of it, just delicious.
It's amazing. Yeah.
And then when it comes out, just to add a little fresh pop, because your Easter dinner, you want everything to look nice.
Yeah.
Put some chives on there for color, and then a little bit of lemon.
Then we can throw our lemon on. What would you serve as a side with something like this, Ben?
Well, Derek, it's funny you ask.
Okay. I didn't even see that.
Yes.
Okay.
Man of all trades.
Nice.
Roasted potato, broccoli is really simple. I mean, it's Easter. You don't want this weather too, right? You don't want to be inside all day slaving over a hot stove.
For sure.
Be outside enjoying the afternoon. Potato, broccoli, a side of rice, a salad. Bob's your uncle.
You're ready to roll.
Yeah.
Do you suggest, by the way, if somebody wants to do this for Easter, should they be ordering way ahead of time? Or
salmon, we don't run out of salmon.
Okay.
If we run out of salmon, someone's getting fired.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I said, it's the #1 seller,
Fair.
especially
you run a
at
tight
Easter.
ship over there at the Pelican.
That's right.
Okay.
But you want to, if you're worried, order ahead. But we've never run out. We have whole sides on the counter all day long. If it's not on the counter, just ask. Someone will run back and get you a nice fresh side. And then you break it up. It's going to be a little messy.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Look at that. Thing of beauty.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely beautiful. Ben, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ben will be back in about a month's time, and as promised, we'll look at either swordfish or calamari, or do both. And if you want to reach out to me or Ben at any time on social media, let us know if you're having struggles with preparing something. We can help you out. We'll be back with more right after this. This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd Studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plant. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
My name is Risa Solomon St. Louis, and I'm the chef and owner of Bacchanal Taste the Caribbean Lifestyle. I love to eat, I love to cook, and this is one of the reasons why I became a chef. I'm excited to share some of what inspires me when you see me at farmers markets, when we're catering, through our prepared meals, and even our sauces and spice blends that we're known for. Thank you for coming into the kitchen with Risa.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Well, spring is in the air, so that means a lot of brand new collections coming into Cantus Fashion Boutique. And if you've never been down there on Sussex Street, we'll tell you more about that. But there are brand new collections. But we're going to talk about something very specific here today with Samia Cantus, the president and CEO of Cantus Fashion. Welcome back to the show. Great to have you here. Let's just remind everybody a little bit. Tell everybody about yourself. I know you were on the show before, but I don't assume everybody watching now watched at that point. So tell us a little. Since 1997, you've been down there?
25 years in this town.
Amazing.
Actually. I had a small boutique before, so
yeah.
I know that. But now I moved to a new location 18 years ago. And yeah, I'm running this company in this city 25 years.
Congratulations.
I born in Turkey, and but I came here to do my master degree. I end up marrying Canadian man. I stay and all that. So I'm in business.
Nice. I love it. And that's interesting, Turkey, because last time you were on the show, you were saying when you go buying, Turkey's the place to go now, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Now all the European companies, Italian companies, they manufacture in Italy, or French companies manufacture in France, and they come to Turkey because lots of people doing like hubs. They come from Africa, from all over the world. They come to Turkey. It's easy for them, okay? And then they buy from showrooms. These companies have showrooms in Turkey, in Istanbul especially. Okay. So they come and they buy. That's how they work.
Well, you brought some beautiful models from Angie's Models, right? Angie's Models and International. Let's bring out our first one, and you can sort of describe. So what are we talking about today as she makes her way out?
We will have 4 brides today, okay? So the short dresses, brides this year, 2024, they are going for they shrink everything, okay? The smaller cakes, smaller weddings, smaller parties, and then so they shrink the dresses too. Lots of brides are wearing short dresses. Even if they're not doing that, so they like to change their dresses.
Okay.
So they go with a traditional dress, and then at the end of ceremony, they change to a short dress.
So they can dance the night away.
Yeah, they can
enjoy things more. So tell me about this dress specifically.
I like that because it's one shoulder and it's not serious,
Right.
I mean, it's formal enough because all those gathering and ruching, okay, and puff is bottom. And then yet it's fun dress to wear it for dancing if you want to do after that. So I like that. And she looks really good.
Look at her go. Nice.
You look really good. Thank you.
Excellent. You look fabulous. Thank you very much. As she steps off, we'll invite our next model to come on out here. This looks more as a little bit more traditional and black for a wedding.
Yes,
interesting.
2024. I'm talking about black years now, a couple of years in Europe.
I remember that.
But now, 2024, lots of brides, I should say, going black because they want to show, their individuality. So they want to be different. And then, so like this one, I like it because it's formal enough. Still like a bride look with all those ruching,
Right.
And then this basically sash and slit. And could you turn for me? Look at her. So isn't it formal enough? It's beautiful. So lots of brides are going 2024 black now. So don't be afraid to wear black.
Formal and a little sexy, right at the same time.
And do you want to see sexy? Look at this. So when you're doing party, so let's say you don't want to change your dress, right? You just take this down and show the, trendy plunge, deep plunge, and strapless. Look how nice it is. So you can play with it too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That is very unique. I've never seen that look before.
Really
Thank you very
much. I like the shimmer too. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. We'll bring out our next model as she walks out here. And we're seeing a lot of, I guess, different colors, right? And when it comes to, you know, let's say bridesmaids, is it still matchy-matchy? Are you allowed to sort of be your own individual?
Less matchy, so they allow, because they realize that, okay, not everybody has the same shape.
Right.
So chiffon could be good for a skinny person, slimmer person, but, you know, could be not good for somebody else.
Yeah, and some colors aren't good for people's skin tone and that sort of thing, too.
Thank God that's happening.
Right.
You study again, I see.
I did, of course I did. I do my research before you come. Tell us about this dress.
So pink is another 2024, you know, definitely collection. And brides are going pink also because girls, we like pink, first of all.
For sure.
Okay,
and
so,
Barbie?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The big hit.
And it's romantic, right?
Yeah.
So pink is romantic. It comes with different shades, but most of the pink has some embellishment. Look at that. That makes it very special.
Yeah.
I really like that. And then, again, the trendiness this year is about, you know, definitely like bustier look. Again.
Right.
So this has a bustier look too. And then this off the shoulder, could you please turn it around a bit for me? And then you see flowy still. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and it's nice. I like that too.
Yeah, very, very nice.
So
and I like that the
bright.
beading continues onto the back as well, right?
Yes.
Looks really great. Thank you so much. You look fantastic. And then we do have another white, I believe, right, coming up next, but with a little bit of pizzazz.
That's right.
Right?
So again, most of girls are not going big traditional dress. Yes, some of us we are going.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But most of are going like less dressy, less formal, and wearable. They can wear it again. So we are getting maybe smarter. I don't know.
I like to think so.
Yeah. So, you know, you can shorten this dress after your wedding and then go to whatever you're going.
So take it to a tailor, get it professionally done.
It's easy to shorten the dresses, and you're not going to ruin the dresses, you know, because it's the shape of it is the flowy on the bottom, fit it on the top, little bit, you know, sparkle.
Yeah.
Turn, Nejma. It's so beautiful. You look so gorgeous
nice.
also. Look at that. It's special enough, right, for the wedding. And
Agreed.
then yet you can play with it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I think this is our last bride.
Yes, I think we have one last bride coming out here. And again, I think this one is probably going to surprise a lot of people in that it's not one of those colors that comes to mind first and foremost when it comes to brides, right?
Yeah, this one is going to be, I'm done with the brides. Now
you are? Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
so
okay.
then
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, then that's what makes it unique. That's why I thought that's an odd color.
Yeah. So now, because the mothers get stressed out, that's my biggest client.
Mother of the bride,
yes, or groom. They don't know what to do, what to wear. So I go through that all the time. So can you take the models?
Yeah, let's have her come on out here.
Yeah. So we can talk.
She's shy.
So here we are. This mother doesn't want to show
really
her
nice.
arms, right? Some of us like that. We don't want to show
absolutely.
our arms. We want to be a little bit conservative, but not all the way, let's say, with this dress. Because again, the deep plunge in 2024 is really in. And gathering around the waistline, it shows, you know, her curves. She still have curves and she wants to show it off,
Of course
right?
she should.
Mother doesn't mean that we have to have, you know, wearing something like tent, right?
Agreed.
So I like this. It's simple. You don't want beadworks, that's fine. You know, it's still
but it's got
special.
sparkle still, right?
Yeah.
It's got that nice little subtle sparkle to it, very starry look.
Yeah, the back, could you turn your back please for me? Look at V, again ruching. It fits so nicely.
Yeah.
You see? That's very nice.
Look fabulous. Thank you so much, Samia. Always a pleasure having you. Thanks to Angie's Models as well for bringing these beautiful models. And of course, you can go visit Samia down on Sussex, 700 Sussex. 700 Sussex, and visit her online. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
We invite you to play What My Line.
Welcome, Mrs. Baker. Those folks over there need to guess your extraordinary occupation.
Are you an entertainer, Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Do people come to watch you perform?
Yes. Do you travel for work? Yes, I do.
Do you ever wear a special type of costume?
Yes.
Is your job physical?
Yes, indeed.
Are you a member of a team?
Yes.
Are you a professional baseball player?
Yes, I am.
Created during the Second World War, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League included 68 Canadians. One of its brightest stars was my mother, Saskatchewan's Mary Bonnie Baker, a pioneer for women in sports.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to RogersTV.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at RogersTV.com.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Well, he is a three-time world champion, deafblind world champion, and he has competed in so many different categories, from speed skating to rowing to tandem cycling. I understand he's now taken up golf as well. He joins us here on the show to talk about his brand new book. It is called Deafblind Champion. Kevin Frost joining me, and his voiceover artist, as I mentioned earlier, Alex Meek, who is one of our great co-op students here, and reached out to me and said, "Hey, I've got a great story for you." So welcome to you too, Alex. Great to have you here. Kevin, tell me about your love of sport. When did sport come into your life exactly?
Well, it's very interesting. With my condition called Usher syndrome, I lost my hearing at a young age and my vision later on, and I hit rock bottom. But then I took a negative, put into a positive, got involved in sports, and with the help of great people, I got involved in, like you say, rowing, speed skating, track running, tandem cycling. Now I'm into blind golfing, and I had a great season last year because I won Canadian Stable Ford overall champion. So it was good after 7 years of golfing.
Congratulations! So before blindness and deafness set in, were you athletic at that point?
I was working full time. I was a workaholic, and it's kind of funny. I used to referee hockey, so now all the hockey players come out and say, "Yeah, you were blind." So needless to say, I had a great family on the way. But at the end of the day, I hit rock bottom, and that's kind of, it was a hard point to taking your license away, taking your job away, taking my landscaping company away. It's a different way of adjusting. Right. And with the help of CNIB and Canadian Guide Dog for the Blind, I'm on my third service guide dog, Woody. So it's kind of fascinating what they've done for me.
Tell me why you decided to pen a book. What's the idea and inspiration behind that?
I thought after 25 years, I've gone through a lot of adversity, and I find finding out the secrets how to create a beautiful state of mind. We got to connect the dots in life. So I decided, with all my experiences with going through a depression, going through the family phase, and now involved in sports, I thought, why don't I write a book to find out, share people how I was able to get through everything with the mental. You know what? I always have good days and have bad days. I always say every day is a good day because you just never know what you're going to run into.
Yeah.
Literally.
Alex, how did the two of you connect?
Well, it's back. So I'm currently at Algonquin College in the radio broadcasting podcasting program. Yeah. And a teacher of mine ended up reaching out to me in first year because Kevin reached out to her with having just finished his book and wanting to turn the book into an audiobook. Okay. And he reached out to my teacher and was looking for a hardworking student who was going to get the job done and do it right. And she said, "I know exactly the person for you." So she connected Kevin and I, and we were off to the races from there.
And had a voice like this.
That does.
Hey, Kevin, I mean, when you were introduced to Alex, tell me about that.
With my hearing, I actually hear better with a deep voice. So when I heard Alex, so like I say, I only have 10% hearing. I don't wear my hearing aid. I don't hear at all. So having his voice kind of helped. And I'm very blessed to have Alex. He's a perfect candidate for one I had. And look what I had created. Beautiful sales. I've sold over 2,000 books, many audiobooks. And what's fascinating is part of the proceeds go back to Canadian Guide Dog for the Blind. So it's giving back. That's what I talk about in my book. How to give back is how we can be successful.
Alex, what was the process like working with Kevin?
So it was really interesting, actually, because I really enjoyed it. almost hate to admit it, but I'm not the biggest reader. So this honestly got me back into reading books and being able to read Kevin's story, and it's such an inspirational and really motivational story that to be able to talk with him and go over even just the pacing and how he wanted the book to sound and the delivery of it, but more so just learning about Kevin as a person and his story, and honestly just the motivation and the inspiration that he provided to me was really moving, and it really helped bring the book to life.
I'm sure, Kevin, a lot of people are intrigued. We're just looking at some of the photos here and all of the awards that you've won over the years, and I mentioned 3-time world champion. Maybe let's walk through some of these sports, because I imagine a lot of viewers like, okay, so being legally deaf and blind, how do you actually compete in some of these sports? So let's start with speed skating. For those that aren't aware how it works, explain to us.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. With short track and long track, I had a great gifted coach from Team Canada, Mike Rive, and he communicates through my FM system on my hearing aid. So I would count my strides, and as we're coming to the corner, he'd go 3, 2, 1, attack. So long track is 9 straightaways and 6 crossovers on the inside, outside 7 crossovers. So he would communicate, and I wouldn't hear the last bell because he would have to tell me on your last lap, your lap time gist. So that's how I kind of able to get through speed skating. Trust me, I've been DQ'd, I fell a lot, but I kept on going. But it translates through all sports, even like rowing. The coxswain would wear the FM system. For track running, the guide would wear the FM system. For tandem cycling on the short races, I would just feel it. And blind golfing, my guide would wear, because when I hit the ball, I don't look where it goes. I look at my coach, and they tell me where the ball goes.
Interesting. Is one of those sports more challenging than the other?
Well, you know what? They all have their own hurdles, and every sport is a great sport, and I'm trying to build on blind golf. So it's kind of funny when you do blind golf, because when I hit the ball, I never get to see where it goes. So the only thing I can see is the ball on the tee. So it's really interesting. So I go up to the green, and my guide will say, well, it's 20 feet, and I think you should go 4 feet. She would line me up and hit the ball, and it either goes in or doesn't go in.
That is just amazing. You brought some props along with you here. Yes. For me to sort of try on before we came live, and I'm just going to put these on. And I mean, as you can see, if you can get a close-up of me, as you can see, there's just some small holes in this one. So this is, I'm seeing what Kevin would see on a daily basis, and let me tell you, it's barely anything. And then the headphones, I'll try not to yell because now I can barely hear my own voice. I wonder, Alex, did he put you through this exercise of putting these on, and then what was your experience like to understand what it might feel like for Kevin?
It was really interesting to have that experience, and quite mind-blowing, honestly, to see, as he said, you're used to having 5 senses.
Alex, I'm just going to have you hold that thought because we have to take a quick break, and I'll come back and we'll continue this conversation with Alex, finding out how he felt that experience was like. We'll be back with more right after this.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd Studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us for an hour to give right here on Rogers TV. We're going to talk about everything that is going to inspire you about this beautiful city.
I still remember the games. The laughter, the footsteps through the hallway. I'll never forget the challenges.
Every day I come back from work, it's always like this. We're yelling in front of the kids.
I'll never forget the help we needed. how far we've come.
Unbelievable. You just never see that. What a shot.
The OHL on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. As we were going to break, I was asking Alex, who's the voiceover artist for this fantastic book, Deafblind Champion by Kevin Frost. And, you know, Kevin had brought along these props, and, you know, this is sort of how he sees. And again, just a reminder, then you put these on. So, Alex, what was this experience like for you to realize what Kevin's daily life is like?
Well, Kevin put it really well in that the majority of us are used to having 5 senses, right? So when 2 of them are taken away, that's a fairly big percentage of what you're used to. So to lose especially your sight and your hearing, it changes a lot of aspects to things. And I have a different appreciation to certain disabilities as well. Right. With my mother, who passed away almost 5 years ago now, she was in an electric wheelchair full time from a disease called mitochondrial cytopathy, which was a neuromuscular disease that essentially progressively got worse and never got better. But she was heavily reliant on speech to text for multiple things. Right. I would almost say her and Siri were best friends, but they didn't always get along too well. Yeah. Technology can be a little frustrating sometimes, but it's given me a whole other appreciation, and also really makes me proud to have done this book, knowing that if she was around and also people like her and like Kevin are able to experience this book because my voice brought it to life.
Yeah, no, well said, beautifully said. Kevin, I want to go back to blind golf, because you've got some exciting things happening in the sport, right?
Exciting. We got some grants by the Ottawa Red Black Foundation, and I'm going to be try to recruit some youth and female blind golfer to have 2 camps in Ottawa. So that'll be, if you're interested in trying it out, youth and females, you can reach us out at Ontario Blind Golf, or you can connect with myself at frostkevin67@gmail.com, and we'll be able to help you out. But what's fascinating is I've traveled the world doing motivational talks, over 400 worldwide, and it's really interesting how to share my story and to have my book and have Alec do the book. People are always reaching out, how can I get your book? So we get it out on, you can get it on Amazon, and you can get it on Barnes and Nobles, and then Find Away Voices. There's 25 platforms you can find my book if you just Google Deafblind Champion.
Nice. You brought your service dog along with you here, and obviously this is an important part of your life, but you also wanted to give raise awareness about service dogs on the show today too.
Without my seat, I had 3 service guide dogs, Nemo, Lewis, and Woody, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for these amazing dogs, because 3 months ago in Orleans, for Youville and Jeanne d'Arc, it was a hit and run. And I'll give you a short demonstration. So our guide dog will stop on the curb, and they only go when it's safe. Well, we proceeded in half a second. Woody stopped, tried to push me back a little bit, and out of nowhere, I feel the car running up my arm, and Woody's head gets impacted, and we both went back, and he just drove off. Well, the moral of the story is, if it wasn't for Woody, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. I'd be in the hospital. So it's a blessing. But what I've done is we couldn't find the driver, but I've taken a negative, put it into positive. I've worked with the city councillors, I worked with the mayor, I worked with the city planners, and we've adapted that corner. And what we've done is we've implanted the 5-second rule, where pedestrians have 5 seconds to cross the road. That is huge. We need to do that through Ottawa. I'm working with my politicians, and I want them to really listen to this. If you do this across Ottawa, you're going to decrease incidents up to 75%. I know, being deafblind, I deal with it every day. So please, if you're listening, let's make Ottawa all safer by having safer cars, by implementing the 5-second rule.
Well said. And another issue you had, you were actually refused by an Uber, right?
So
because
August,
you had Woody, your service dog, with you.
After winning Canadians, it was a great experience. I come back to Ottawa, and I arrived at the Ottawa Airport, and I get out to order Uber, and the guy comes and said, no pets on my pad. I said, this is a service guide dog, not a pet. I don't care. No pet in my dog. So the long story here is there's a blind act that's in place in 1990 that if you refuse a service guide dog at any business, any taxi company, you can be charged to $5,000. So it's just more for awareness. I just don't want the next person to go through what I'm going through, because there's rules and laws, and service guide dogs have rights too.
Philanthropy, a big part of what you do. You mentioned, traveling around the world, and a portion of the sales of this book go to a great cause as well, right? You touched on that, but I wanted to expand on that.
Canadian Guide Dog for the Blind is out in Manotick, and all my 3 dogs, and the amount of money they put into, I can never pay back. So I thought, I want to give back by the book sales, part of the book sales go back to a Canadian Guide Dog, because I have goosebumps, because I know what they've done. Between the three dogs, they saved my life 9 times. I don't know, you can't put a price on that. So at the end of the day, if you can donate to Canadian Guide Dog, great, because it's saving my lives and others, and other people maybe in your family might have to get a service guide dog.
Alex, how important was being a part of this? You're a voiceover artist yourself. Is this your first audio book that you've ever done?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm currently about 5-6 weeks away from finishing my program up at Algonquin College, and that was my first legitimate opportunity to be a voiceover artist, voice actor, however you want to put it, of the sort. And so it was pretty special to have this opportunity, especially. I mean, any audio book would have been a cool opportunity, but to get together with Kevin and put together this inspirational story was definitely pretty special.
Do you have an agent yet or anything like that?
I'm still working on that. If there's anybody out there, alexmeek10@gmail.com or at just alexmeek on Instagram, feel free to reach me there.
I might be able to connect you with a couple of people, so you and I can go for a coffee and chat about that. Remind everybody at home again, Kevin, where they can get a copy of this great book.
You can get a copy you can Google Deafblind Champion on Amazon. You can get it at Barnes & Noble, and the audio book you can get through Find a Way Voices on 25 platforms. You Google any of the platforms, my book will come up, and you can also go to my website, which is www.deafblindspeechgetter.com. Everything is there, and if you need to reach out to me for any presentation, I'm there to motivate, I'm there to inspire, one by one.
Wonderful.
And remember, every day is a great day. You just never know what can happen in life.
Great way to end this. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you, Alex. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is the office of Todd Hammersfield. And like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd's studio is mostly straight and white. Todd tends to avoid that topic, but it's not Todd's fault. Todd didn't personally spend the last century making it nearly impossible for BIPOC and LGBTQ+ folk to pursue careers in this industry, or at least I don't think Todd did. Did you, Todd? But he did benefit from the structure, and that's why we need Todd's help now. By pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Oh!
There you are. I was looking all over for you.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
They don't make vents like they used to.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Back to talk some theater. So many opportunities in the Ottawa region, and the Greeley Players are putting on a fabulous production. If you love to laugh, you are going to absolutely love this production. Here to tell us more about it, I'm joined by Heather Weiss. She's the president of the Greeley Players. Welcome, Heather. Great to have you here. And Paul Grant, a cast member and playing the role of King Arthur. You could probably guess what the production is just by me saying that. But Heather, before we get to this great production, as I said, a fantastic comedy. Tell me a little bit of the history behind the Greeley Players.
Sure. Greeley Players is a community theater that's started in 1990. This is our 33rd production. We put on one musical every year, other than obviously a couple of years during COVID.
Right.
And we really go all out. We start rehearsing way back in November, and all of our people are volunteers with props and costumes and makeup. The costumes are always phenomenal, and set design and all of that. Yeah.
What drew you to the theater?
In my personal case, one of our daughters, who's a singer, got involved and was the postulant nun for The Sound of Music way back in 2012, I want to say.
Okay.
And I got involved behind scenes and then on stage, and then, yeah, just kept up with it. And
how about you, Paul? How did you get involved in theater?
I started in high school. I did a production of Once Upon a Mattress in grade 10 or something like that, and I've just, I've done a smattering of shows over the years, and this is my first production with Greeley, but yeah, I love doing it.
Yeah, well, and we're talking about Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot, and I mentioned I saw it roll through town at the NAC. I can't even tell you how many years ago it was now, and thoroughly enjoyed it. For people that aren't familiar, Paul, with the story, tell us a little bit about the story.
Yeah, so this is based on the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which came out in the 70s. Monty Python, of course, is a British sketch comedy troupe, and this is their most popular movie by far, but the story follows King Arthur and his quest for the Holy Grail. He puts together a bunch of knights, and they go on hijinks, and there's lots of singing and dancing. And
I love it.
It's great. Yeah.
Heather, what do you think makes this such a special play in particular and so unique from others?
Oh, that's a really good question. It's so much fun. As Paul said, there's the music, and it stays true to the story because it was even Monty Python that wrote the staged version from the movie. So there's extra songs that aren't in it, and in the movie version, but it's high energy, and our directing team with the vocals and the artistic director just do a great job of pulling out a little bit of the extra laugh that isn't even in the script. So, yeah.
Nice. Now, do you play a role yourself?
I am one of the two crazy stagehands that is horrible at their job because they're constantly seen on stage when they shouldn't be, but that's like the rolling joke, right? So.
Right. Yeah. The kind of humor, Paul, how would you describe, because I said to you, I love Monty Python, and, some people love it, some I can't
for
imagine.
Everyone, that's for sure.
I don't understand how it's not, but, but how would you describe this sort of style of humor with Monty Python?
It's quite dry and very in your face, right? There's nothing subtle about it. It's silliness, right? It's people are slapping each other with fish across the face, and I don't know. It's just like there's nothing subtle about the humor.
Yeah, and I've talked about this in the past on the show, and I love serious theater, but I also love theater that just entertains. When you go about choosing a production every year, Heather, as a group, the Greeley Players, what do you look for in a production, in a play?
Well, it can change, actually. We often look for things that will involve lots of kids. That's something that we've done a lot of plays with a lot of kids, but not always, obviously, because we do some that are just adults. We look for a big draw. Sometimes we put on one a few years ago with Tom Sawyer that everyone went, that's even a musical, and everyone loved it, but it was sort of unknown. Whereas, when we came back after COVID and we wanted to sort of, put some life back into getting people to come to the theater. We did Cinderella because it's something people are familiar with.
Right.
So it really depends. We try to keep an open mind, and it's always musical.
Okay.
And it's always fun. And yeah.
You kind of have to be a triple threat, right, when it comes to musical. Did you have a musical background yourself, Paul? A singing background at all?
I think you have to be a triple threat if you're doing it professionally. I'm a double threat. I don't dance particularly well. But yeah, I have a musical family, and I've been doing music for long time.
I wouldn't be surprised, Heather, if you find the crowd sort of getting involved in, like, have you seen the crowd getting involved, knowing some of the pieces and some of the songs and singing along with the group?
I haven't noticed that too much, but you can you do get the feedback from the crowd when you hit the line that's really funny or whatever.
Yeah.
And just to sort of jump back on what Paul said, him not dancing actually works for his character, but I do have to point out that there is some phenomenal, like we've got tap dancers and everything else in
Great
it.
tap
So
dancers. The costumes are obviously amazing. There's some pretty mediocre British accents, but the rest is great.
I hear you, Paul. I've tried the old British accent and tend to lose it and then bring it back every now and then. Heather, people watching right now, they want to get involved in community theater with the Greeley Players. What opportunities are available?
Oh, there's so many opportunities. You can, first of all, come out and audition and try and be part of one of our plays that way. Or you can help backstage. I also work with props. We have people volunteering. As I said, it's all volunteers with set design, set building, painting, props, makeup. The costumes team is phenomenal. They've got a great group. You can always use our program as a way to advertise your company. Just come out and get tickets, come out, see what we're all about, and yeah.
On that note, how do people get tickets? And tell me the run, where and when it's happening.
Yep, so our shows are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday evenings.
Okay.
From the 20th to the 23rd. And then on the 23rd and 24th, Saturday, Sunday, there are 2 o'clock matinees.
Oh, excellent.
And tickets are at greeleyplayers.ca. And on the Wednesday and Thursday evenings, if you get a ticket, you also get a chance to win dinner out and movie tickets.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you both for being here. Really appreciate it. And great choice. I wish, Paul, you had the coconut so you could ride out of here.
I wish we still had some of that salmon from the segment
where
before.
is the salmon? You grab a piece if there's some left back there, Paul. Thank you both. Really appreciate it. Again, greeleyplayers.ca. Find out more information on the schedule, how to get tickets, and if you want to get involved. We'll be right back after this.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd's studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Well, talking about spam a lot, everyone needs to laugh, right? Probably, I know everyone says this, more than ever. No, we've always needed to laugh, and stand-up comedy is probably the best way to do that. If you've never been to a stand-up comedy show, I cannot encourage you enough to go out, because we have so many fabulous comedians, not just here in Ottawa, but across the province and across the country. And I'm going to introduce you to a fantastic comedian. He's up for Comedian of the Year at Faces Magazine. Jordan Angus joins me, comedian and producer. I should add that too. Welcome. Great to have you
Thanks
here.
for having me. Thanks for having me.
When you wrote in your notes to me, you said that you've always been an introvert. So it's kind of a strange career choice to get into comedy. Tell me how that happened.
It is, yeah. I'm a very shy person outside of the stage. So it's almost like putting on a character when I go up on stage. Outside of that, I'd rather be at home just relaxing and watching TV. But it's always been something that I look forward to, is making other people laugh. Yeah.
So when you decided to go on stage, I mean, what sort of pushed you onto the stage eventually?
I was always a class clown. That was it was a big thing for me, and I wasn't stand-up comedy for me. It was kind of like a pipe dream. I didn't think that was possible for me, but it was actually a comedian, Mike McDonald, Ottawa native well, who I saw a bit of his that was very similar to a story that happened to me, and I realized if he could do it, I can do it as well. And I finally took initiative to make that step on stage.
And it wasn't easy for you. My understanding, a lot of anxiety issues when it came to being on stage. How did you overcome, or how have you overcome those?
I had some great teachers growing up in high school who gave me some keys in drama class, how to kind of work with the stage fright. And then a comedian that I worked with, Jeremy Hotz, actually gave me a tip as well, and he suffers from anxiety. So that
you
was
got to work with Jeremy Hotz?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a big thing for me. Yeah.
How did you meet him?
That was a fluke chance. I got a lucky gig in Toronto, and I was opening up for him. I didn't know who I was opening up for at the time, and I got to talk to him for 5 minutes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my good. You also mentioned, the need to laugh. I mentioned off the top, I think we've always needed to laugh. Do you feel like we need that more than ever?
I
Is
think
that a cliche? I don't know.
No, it's true. It's very important, I think, mentally as well. We're talking a lot about mental health issues lately, and I think it's very important and it's very healthy to be okay with laughing at things. Don't take everything so seriously. It's important for our health, both physically and emotionally, to be able to laugh at a lot of things that are going on.
How would you describe your humor? Like, what sort of is your brand of humor?
I'm a storytelling observational comedian, so a lot of the stuff I do is stuff that's happened to me in my lifetime or something that I've noticed, and that's kind of what I stick to.
I want to talk about laugh your dentures off. Is this a concept you came up with yourself?
Yeah, I joked around a lot because a lot of comedy shows happen late at night. By the time I get home, it's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was joking with some buddies, like my dream job would be telling jokes at retirement homes. So I'd be done before dinner time, and then it turned into an actuality. Instead of it becoming a dream, I put it into motion. Yeah.
So what did you do? You reached out to retirement homes and said, "Hey, I got a comedy bit for you."
Yeah. We got a group of comedians that are working with me on it as well. So we do a half-hour of comedy, half-hour of classic game shows, just to make seniors laugh and smile and give them something different for their day.
I love that idea. That is a fantastic concept. I mentioned, the talent that we have. You've been doing this for how long now?
I started in 2012.
Okay, 2012. So in your travels, in this country, in this province, and just here in Ottawa, how would you describe the talent we have?
We have an amazing talent pool, and I think we kind of seclude ourselves by city too. So my goal has been kind of to take the comedians of Ontario and kind of blend them together and show that talent just doesn't reside in Toronto or in Ottawa. We have a lot of amazing talent in Cornwall and Kingston, London, Ontario, and I think it's just to be able to try to get these guys to navigate outside of their cities and highlight their talents and their funniness. And it can be difficult to get them out of their bubbles, but one of my goals is to get these guys out there.
It's a great idea. Let's talk about, speaking of the province in Ontario, you've got the Battle of Ontario comedy show coming up. Tell me about this event.
It's something I started back in January. We had Ottawa versus Toronto in the first ever Battle of Ontario. So we're running the second one here, and it's Team Cornwall versus Team Ottawa, and the winner will go on to face Team Toronto July 20th. So the show that we're having is April 6th here in Ottawa.
So how does the competition work? Like, are there judges involved?
It's fan based. So we have 4 comedians from Ottawa, 4 comedians from Cornwall, Cornwall, and the fans will decide who are the top 3 comedians, and then which city will go on to advance against Toronto.
So does that judging happen then that very night? So 4 from Ottawa, 4 from Cornwall go up on stage, and then people are...
Yeah, there's a QR code. The audience members will scan the QR code on their phones. They vote at that minute, and within 5 minutes, I get the results.
What's the feedback been like for this sort of style of competition?
The first show, we went through a lot of different struggles, but it was amazing. We had a great turnout. We're very interactive after the show with our audience members, and they were excited to have us back in Toronto. So it's a different concept. People like the theme, and it's been a blessing for me to get comics kind of all over Ontario who want to participate in this event as well. Everything's been positive so far.
I mentioned that you're up for nomination for the Faces mag. Oh, there's the poster right there. There he is, right there. Entertainer of the Year, Comedian of the Year. Voting is close, and you will find out when?
Tonight. We'll find out tonight.
Okay.
I heard you're up for one as well.
I am up for media personality, I think it is. Yeah, that's one of my categories. So good luck to you.
Yeah, same to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jordan Agnes, everybody. You can check him out of course, on social media. You can visit his website as well. But the Battle of Ontario Comedy Show, that's at the Cultures Comedy Club, fantastic comedy club, April 6th at 8 p.m. You can find it on Eventbrite. Just search for Battle of Ontario Comedy Show. We'll be right back to wrap things up after this.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us for an hour to give right here on Rogers TV. We're going to talk about everything that is going to inspire you about this beautiful city.
On Rogers TV.
All right, before we let you go for the weekend, let's just go over today's show and tell you about a couple of things. First of all, thanks to everybody. Always appreciate all our guests on the show and, of course, our fabulous volunteer crew. Big thanks to Ben Baird from the Pelican Seafood Market and Grill. If you've never visited them, highly recommend you go check them out. You can go either into their marketplace or maybe just peruse their marketplace, stay for dinner, stay for lunch. They have a fabulous menu there. They're located down there at 1500 Bank Street, and, of course, you can find them online as well. Samia Kantis, a big thanks to Samia and all the models that came in. I wanted to apologize to one of the models. We didn't have enough time to get through all of them. So we'll have Samia back so that we can highlight that fantastic model that we didn't get to today. She's located, by the way, down there in the Byward Market, right on Sussex Street, 700 Sussex Street. You can visit her online at cantusfashion.ca. And if you'd like to get a copy of Kevin Frost's fabulous book, it's called Deaf and Blind Champion. You can go to deafblindspeedskater.com to find out more. You can also look the book up on Amazon, and you can just search the book if you want to get a hold of that audio book as well. And don't forget the Battle of Ontario Comedy Show. That's April 6th, and sure to be an...
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Welcome to Secondary Dwelling from Hell. There's a lot of things that need to be done for a secondary dwelling in Ontario. There's a lot of rules that were not followed here. This is hundreds of thousands of dollars to build a secondary dwelling. This was never inspected. Obviously, we know that no one inspected nothing here. You're going to want to tune into this series. It's going to teach you a lot. This one's going to be a fun one. I'm really excited. Let's get started.
Ottawa, it's the national capital of Canada.